Good morning, it is Tuesday the 17th of September. It's just turned 11 o'clock and I am just going online now. I haven't got anything pre-booked or anything, so I'm just going to see what happens, and hopefully it might be as busy as it was yesterday. Let's see what happens. Little update, been a bit of a disaster to be honest. So the second I went online, just as I came off from the first update, I got a job which was said Preston to Leyland. So it said the job was about it was like 7 or 8 minutes away, something like that, a couple of miles. It was an Uber XL, £25.96 for 10.1 miles. So I followed the Uber map. I always have obviously the Uber map up on the phone, and then I use the CarPlay to bring it up on the Google Maps. So I'm driving to, and it was just coming up as an address, but it just said the glamping. So I thought, right, okay, they're going to have all sorts of gear with them. So I start driving down, and then I come off the main road, and I go onto like a bit of a farmer's track, as it were. But I thought, well, normally I wouldn't be driving down there because that's not the right way. But I thought, well, you know, the glamping, I've zoomed out on the map, and you can see like they're just a little dot, like in the middle of nowhere, basically. So anyway, I start driving down this road for like 5 minutes, get all the way down there, and then it basically says private, you know, farmer's track, no through road. It's a dead end. So I thought, well, why is the map brought me this way? Because Google Maps had as well. So I thought, right, I'm gonna have to come out of here and basically drive all the way round to the other side. So that was like, that then changed the pickup time for like another 15 minutes. I thought, Jesus. I thought, well, I'm here now, I might as well carry on. So I went all the way around, got to the other side, and then I'm driving down, and then it comes to like a little bit, again I'm on like this country road, farm track. It comes to like a bit of a bend in the road, and that's where like the dot was. But then where the GPS of the woman was on the other side of a stream. So I thought, well, the job's going to start now, and it'll say it's notified the rider, but it didn't. So I thought, well, this obviously isn't the location, so why has the map brought me here? And then it was only then when I pulled up, instead of it just saying glamping at the top, it changed to, see, it's even gone now when I'm on the job, when I'm looking at the job. For some reason they try and hide the details. It's coming up as Leisure Lakes Complex, but it's not. It's called 4 Acres Glamping or something, which was like near Tarleton. So I sat there, it didn't notify her. So I thought, well, what do I do now? So I was on the verge of, I'm just going to cancel it because I've had enough. I've been driving around now for like 20-25 minutes at this point. So then, now that it's then given me the address, I've then gone onto Google Maps and typed in the address. Google Maps has took me straight there, but again I've had to turn around, drive down this farmer's track again, and go halfway back round to where I've just been. I thought, Jesus. And then as I'm driving down there, the Uber map is still telling me to do a U-turn and go back to this stream. It was just completely wrong. So I get all the way around, follow Google Maps, go on to like this, like some sort of like camping site / golf course / bit of everything. So I drive all the way in there, none of it is all mapped or anything on Google Maps or Uber, and then I see a group of people, so I drive over to them. I asked this lad, he went, oh no, he said, it's not us. He said, there's another family further down. He said, we've been watching our Uber driver for the past 20 minutes drive up and down these country lanes. He said, and they've just cancelled on us. And I said, well, to be honest, I said, I've been doing the same to the other people. I said, because none of the maps can find it. So he was like, oh, well, what should we do? How are we supposed to get home? I said, I've got no idea. I said, you're going to have to make your way closer to the main road. I said, because this place doesn't exist, apparently, in Uber's eyes. So then I drove a little bit further onto this site, and at this point, the blue dot had turned grey, so it wasn't tracking them, and the dot for the pickup location was still on the other side of the stream. So I had to message them and say, like, you know, I give up, I can't find you. And then she said, oh, are you by the bike shop? There was like a little bike hire shop in the middle of this complex. I'll send my son over. So the son comes over, I then follow him over all these big massive dips and everything. I get there, there's this mum's there. She's got like a baby who's less than one in a car seat. A son who's just come over to guide me over, and another son sat in a wheelbarrow, and she's just got mounds of stuff, baby seats and booster seats and high feed and everything. So I open the boot and she's lifting like this thing in like absolute slow motion. So I was like, oh, do you want a hand? So I start picking up some bits. So I turn around and my son who's sat in the wheelbarrow, you know, he's probably like 13, 14, I say, are you going to help? And he just sits there and eyeballs me. I felt like tipping him out the wheelbarrow. So we got all this stuff loaded in, and I was like, it was a nightmare trying to find you. And she said, oh yeah, she said, the thing is, if we put this location, it's asking for £41, but if we put the location for that building over there, it's asking for like £25 or something. And I said, well, that's why the drivers can't find you. I said, because you've put the wrong location in. And she said, oh, when the driver dropped us off on Friday, he couldn't understand English, and he went down that same like farm track that you was going down, and he was getting dead angry and he was swearing, and he was saying, you're gonna have to get out here. And we were like, well, we're not getting out here because this isn't the proper destination. She said, and then he's finally kind of found the site which I found eventually using Google Maps. She said, and then he dropped us off by the bike shop, and we've had to carry all this over. So I said, well, yeah, I said, it's wrong. He shouldn't have a hump on with you. I said, but then at the end of the day, I said, he can only go off what the map is showing him, and the map is incorrect. You don't know where you're going, and the map doesn't know. So like, what's he supposed to do? So that was it. And then I was driving back off the site, and that other group was still there. There was like 5 youngish, they were like 18, 19 year olds. And I said, any luck with the Uber? And they said no. They said, we're trying to book it, and if we want it to come right to where we are, it's £40. But if it's further down the track towards the main road, it's £25. And I said, funny enough, that's what she's just said, and that's why the drivers can't find you, because you're basically trying to pull a fast one by getting the driver to drive an extra distance. He said, oh, what do you suggest? I said, well, either pay the £40, I said, or drag all this stuff down to the main road. So they all picked the stuff up and started walking down to the main road. So anyway, I then had to go and drop these off, which was like a 27-minute job. So in all, I've spent probably an hour and 10 minutes on this job. This includes loading the stuff, and when we got to the other end, two sons just got out and walked off. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? This little tiny frail woman has got this 1-year-old in a baby seat and a boot full of stuff. So I'm walking up and down the drive like an idiot, putting all this stuff outside the house. I'm thinking, well, that's taking me an hour and 10 minutes now for 25 quid. So I obviously I requested the Uber to look at the price. So they do their usual copy and paste response. No, the trip hasn't changed, you knew what it was going to be before you accepted it, blah blah blah. But I'd taken screenshots of the map taking me to the wrong destination, not once but twice. So because I know what Uber's like. So basically, if they're messing you about, always take screenshots. So I took a screenshot of the first one, which was basically going round in a bit of a square, taking me back to the same place, which was wrong. I then took a screenshot of the other one where it was telling me to do a U-turn and go back to the incorrect place. So I've sent both of them over in the chat, and I said no. I said, it's taking me over an hour to do the job that you told me was going to take 25 minutes. I said, so I've wasted it. The camera shut down because it was too hot, so I've had to put the aircon on just in case you can't hear me. Yeah, so basically I've told Uber they'll have to recalculate it because of the Uber app wasn't able to navigate me to the destination. I've also said other people had their Ubers cancelled. I said, so you'll be able to see all of that data, and you'll be able to see all of my mapping data when I wasn't able to find the location. I've had to use Google Maps because their app is crap, basically. So funny enough, they were quick to message me back before, but now they've gone all quiet. So I'll keep you updated on that. Yeah, so I started about 11:15. I done that job. I then had to get out, spend 5 minutes hoovering all the mud up because they've been, you know, kids. So that was a bit of a wind up. I then started making my way towards Southport. I was getting all stupid jobs, Leyland to Leyland, for like £3-4, which I was cancelling. So I went offline because I was too wound up. So I thought I'll go offline. The camera keeps shutting down because it's too hot. Yeah, so I went offline for a bit anyway. So I was on until basically 1 o'clock. It's now just gone 1:30. So in them 2 hours I've only made that £25.96 off that one job. So what, like nearly £13 an hour. That was purely because it was messing me about. I took that job because I knew I'd be able to get there, pick them up and drop them off within about 40 minutes. So I thought, and then I'll be on like £25-26, and then I might be able to do another job and get up to about 30 quid. But yeah, that whole job has basically messed the day up to now. So just in Southport, I've just had something to eat. I'm just about to carry on. So I'll turn the camera off now, let it cool down. So I've been parked up in the heat. And I'll update you in a bit. Hopefully things have improved. Quick little update, it's just turned 3:30. I've come home for a bit. I'm going to take the little one swimming, and then I'm going to come back out this evening. So where was I? We carried on. I think it was around 2 o'clock. Let me just see what jobs there was. So I had a Southport to Southport, £4.68 for 2.7 miles. Then I had a Southport to Formby, £13.49 for 10.3 miles. A Southport to Southport, £4.87 for 1.2 miles. And then I then finished on a Southport to Southport train station, £8.70 plus a £2 tip, so £10.70 for 1.8 miles. So currently on £57.70. Done about 3.5 hours, so it works out at about £16.42 an hour. It would have been a lot more, well, I say a lot more, it would have been more if it wasn't for the messing around this morning. Uber still haven't messaged me back, you know, which doesn't surprise me, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully they might get back to me later on or something with a recalculation. Yeah, other than that, I accepted a job before. It popped up and said it was like £31 or £32, Southport to Liverpool. So I accepted it because I thought there's not enough time to digest all of the information whilst you've got a passenger in and you're driving. So I accepted it, quickly dropped that passenger off, which was like 10 seconds later. Had a look at the job, and then I thought this just isn't worth it, because it was 2:45 and it was going pretty much like to L1. So I thought, I'm going to set off now, pick the passenger up just before 3 o'clock, and then drive through all of the school traffic all the way into the city centre. So that's going to be an hour, if you're lucky, if not more, like between an hour and 20 thereabouts. So then I thought it's then going to be 4:20 for the drop off, which is then giving me like £30, and then I'm going to turn around and start heading back towards this way, and then everyone kicks out of work. So it was like a double whammy of getting stuck in traffic. It just wasn't worth it. So I went to the little drop down menu to cancel it, and the reason was it's not worth it. I think more people need to do that or not accept jobs. I think people are just blatantly accepting it, and obviously the algorithm just thinks, oh well, if they're accepting the jobs then they're going to do it, you know, because it's not. If a human would have looked at that, they would have thought, oh hang on a sec, they're going to run all the way through that traffic now, that £30 just isn't worth it. Like I've done similar jobs for around £50 for Uber, Southport to L1 on like a Friday, Saturday night. Now they know it's busier, so they know that drivers expect that kind of fee, whereas because it's a Tuesday, Uber's thinking, well, the drivers are a bit more desperate, they're more likely to accept £30 jobs instead, and they're obviously keeping a higher percentage. So yeah, I wasn't willing to do it, and like I said, as soon as I cancelled it, I then had them other two little jobs which were back to back, you know, so I got that one there, 10.70 plus that 4.80, so it was like nearly £16 I got for 3 miles. Now granted, there was probably another 2 miles or so in there and running back and forth, so £15 for what's taking me, what in total, less than 15 minutes. So basically I've got half of what the Liverpool job was paying me, but I've achieved it within 15 minutes. So it's not always a case of, oh, it's a nice big sum. I know it's easy when you first look at it and you think, oh, it's not your typical little £4, £5 or £8 job or whatnot, because you see, oh, it's like 30 quid, but then it's going to take you well over an hour to do the job. You know, for me, if I would have just drove there and back, 2 hours easily, and then what, you're on £15 an hour. Well, I've made £15 in 15 minutes just doing the small local jobs. So yeah, something to look out for. Don't just always jump on it just because you see like a decent fee on it. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Just zoomed out on the map now. It's saying it's surging everywhere. Them surges are just, honestly, they're 100% a lie. I've never had a surge job. I've zoomed out now and it's surging in Ormskirk, towards Wigan, Leyland, Preston, Blackburn, Blackpool. It's surging everywhere, and it's not the case. The amount of times where I'm just about to drive into a surge area, not aiming for it, it's all surging on the map. I cross over that threshold into the surge, the app detects that you've now entered the so-called surge area, and then the surge disappears. And it's definitely not a surge. It's purely just to get drivers into that area because Uber needs more drivers, so they dangle that carrot, and it's not a real carrot. So don't fall for that. Certainly don't run for surges because they don't exist. What else is there? I think that was pretty much it, to be honest. I haven't really done anything else. I had a couple of jobs before. The app was like messing up a little bit. I remember before, when I was near, I think, Leyland, a job was popping up. Leyland to St Helens, like £25. So I clicked accept, kind of went grey, and then just went back online. So I thought, oh, maybe it's been matched to somebody else. 30 seconds later, the same job popped up again. Clicked accept, nothing really happened, and then the map just went back on again. So don't know what was happening there. Just when I was on my way back, I was using the destination. I know it's only like 15-20 minutes max, kind of, from Southport. Again, it was offering me daft jobs over in Preston. It wanted me to, instead of turning right to come home, carry on straight, drive like 8 miles into Preston, to do a Preston to Preston job for like 9 quid. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of a waste of the time. But yeah, that was about it, really. Nothing else. So I will put the car on charge now for a little bit, and I will see you this evening. So, update time, I'm just heading back out now. It's earlier than I thought. It's only been about an hour. My wife's done that thing where she says she's told you something but she hasn't, so it turns out she's taking the little one swimming and I'm not required. Apparently she told me, but she definitely didn't. I think she does it in her head and she thinks she's relayed that information to me. So anyway, that just means that I can come back out. So yeah, I'm just gonna come back online now. You can find the app. Oh, Uber got back to me before and they said, oh, now because I'm in gold you get priority support. However, the priority support has taken longer than the normal support. So they said, okay, thanks for sending over all of the images and everything. We've escalated this to another department to look into it in greater depth. So I said, we'll do that, because basically if you input that address, the Uber navigation does not take you to that destination, and other Uber drivers were cancelling because of that. So hopefully they look into it and they either fix it, or if they don't fix it, they they recalculate the fare. So I'll keep you posted on that, and yeah, I'll see what happens now. It's just coming up to 5 o'clock. Yeah, all the surge bubbles have disappeared other than round Preston and Leyland, but I've been up to Preston and it's a nightmare. Don't like working in the Preston area. So yeah, I will give you an update shortly. Quick little update. It's just turned 7 o'clock. It's been quietish, to be honest. Came back on at 5. A Southport over to Birkdale. So I had to drive a good 5 miles for it at least. It was £11.06 for 1.8 miles. So done at least 6 miles at least. After that I then had a Southport to Formby, which was £12 for 7 miles. I then got a Formby to Walton. That was £17.51 for 12.8 miles. It did have one stop on the way for another collection. So it's been quite slow, to be honest. I've just got back into Southport and it's completely dead. I've drove all the way back from Walton to Southport and I haven't had a single job request. So I'm probably going to go home. I'm on £98.27. So that over the 5.5 hours. I'm now on £17.86 an hour. So yeah, not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. But yeah, it's just completely dead. Nothing's coming up whatsoever, not a single thing. Just drove down Lord Street, quite a few taxis parked up. I've seen a couple of Ubers parked up. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it another 5-10 minutes max, and then I think I'm going to head back, to be honest. Yeah, it's just too quiet. I don't want to waste my time. I know that'll happen then, as obviously my hourly rate will just plummet. So I will give you another update shortly. It'll either be I've been out and got a few more jobs, or I'll be at home doing a summary. So I will catch you in a bit. Just a little quick update. So I decided to come home, so all the figures are as per the last update. It was quite quiet. I was thinking about coming home, and then I got a job which was Southport to Southport. It was like £9.90 or something. So I thought, right, okay, I'll do that. Started driving over, got like 1.5 miles towards them, and then they cancelled. So I thought, well, not too bad, because you still get your cancellation fee, but no cancellation fee came up. So I'm not sure how close you're actually meant to get to them until you're entitled to your cancellation fee. So that's another one that I'll raise with Uber shortly, now that I'm home. But yeah, that's about it. So other than that, yeah, kind of an average day, I suppose. I think it would have been a little bit better if it wasn't for being messed about this morning. But yeah, I suppose it's a Tuesday. What can you really expect? So I will be out again tomorrow, and we'll see what happens then. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow.